Hey buckaroos! This video is sponsored by Square Bag. Actually, I'm not sponsored by Square anything, but this Square bag that I do own, found at an antique store, full of somebody's old Kodachromes and uglier Ektachromes. So that's the cool thing I found to lead this video that we'll address in the future. But as for this thrift score, we've got disgusting gray bag. Ugh. The camera in here has been used a lot. This has been attached to some guy's hip, just sweating on for years apparently, as it's turning yellow and disgusting. And to be honest, I don't even remember what camera is in this because I bought it, saw that it had a roll of film in it, and was like, just get that disgusting thing in the bag and let's get out of here. That was like 2 months ago. I still haven't looked at it. So let's take a little magical mystery adventure and discover what kind of camera I did buy in the disgusting gray bag. So this episode of Thrift Score is gonna be about a Samsung AF Zoom 700, a camera I have never heard of before in my life. And looking at some of the features of this camera, we've got a very slow 3.5 to 6.7 zoom macro lens. Ooh, macro. It's fill flash versus full power flash. That's nice. Other stuff that's not doing anything because there's no power. Or is there power? Where's the power button? Oh, turn this beast on. Oh, we'll see what kind of batteries this takes. Maybe we can get it to scream at us. Unlock with pin? I need a pin to unlock this camera to get to the battery? Oh my god, that's... Well, I'll be right back as I go find a pin. So without a pin in sight, the next best thing I can find is this medical swag I got like 15 years ago, which just happens to have a little unscrewy pin in the top. So now we take our pin and we push it into the button and we will see if we have a battery to run this thing. Oh, that was nice. Hey, it didn't open. Come on, ready? Get in there. Ooh, lithium 20. I don't think this is the battery I used in that last camera I bought a battery, but let me go check. Nope, the battery I bought for the last camera is way taller. It's the same kind of double jab together lithium things, but wrong size. So I have to debate, either I'm gonna buy a battery that style, because I think other cameras in the past have had that same one, or do I just rip the film out of here and we start developing? Guess I don't have a battery. I'm not gonna be able to shoot what's in here or see if it's advanced. Let's take a look at the viewfinder, which is actually kind of dim and not really good. Definitely seen way better viewfinders than point and shoot cameras. But as you can tell, the reason I bought this is because there is a roll of film in there. Looks like it says gold, 36 exposures, 200. Was gold? No, royal gold was one that looked really terrible. So this might be not as bad. But also on the top where it has the film counter, really tiny, you can barely read it. I had to squint. It's still sitting on the S for start, so that very well could mean it was just put in and never used, or who knows what happens when the battery goes away on these and someone else turns it on and doesn't know what it's doing. So this might be a very short video if there's nothing on it. However, so just in case the camera has nothing in it, which is a very likely scenario, let's pad some time in this video by exploring the contents of this case, as it is full of various documents and stuff. Can you get out of the frame, please? Move. Okay, all my big curious friends, let's see what treasures are inside the camera bag. In the main compartment we have the camera manual. Nice that the owner kept this around for all the years. It's just a manual, but if you're watching this video and like you're looking for a manual for this camera and nobody has published one online, hit me up and I'll find out the information you need in this manual. Also in the main compartment we have some very vintage shout wipes, some moist towelettes, 5 by 6 inches. That's a good size. Manufactured, copyright, 1996. You should do like a future will this moist towelette still clean video? Or not. Let's just put that back in there. Let's get into the main compartment, which has all the goodies in it. So we got this huge stack of goodies falling out everywhere. Get rid of that. So first up, we have a business card for the Alamo Photo Center, Photo Lab and Studio, blah, 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 Alamo, Texas. So whoever owned this camera has apparently been to Texas. Document number 2 is a receipt from Duluth Camera Exchange, which is still in business downtown Duluth. I've been there at some point in my life. Let's see, we got the camera owner's personal information. I'm gonna blur that out just for the sake of privacy. But I assure you that underneath this is a name and an address. So we got a receipt here from 1989 for the camera itself and a bunch of other accessories. So let's see, what did this camera cost? The Samsung AF ran $199.91 in 1989. So what does that come out to in today's dollars? $417 for this camera, brand new. I went online and looked on eBay, and it's now selling for about $15. Also on here, what I find curious is we have a 2-pack of 400 ISO gold. One 2-pack, so that I assume that means 2 rolls, unless back then they were selling like a 1 pack was 3 and it was like bundled together as a 2-packs or 6 or something. But $11.99 for the roll of film. Punch those same numbers into a calculator and we get $25.03. So if indeed that's a 2-pack, as in 2 rolls, film price has gone down for the good stuff, but it could also be a 2-pack of a mini roll, in which case it's probably just in line with what we're paying today. Okay, next document. So here we have looks like the swipe of the credit card to pay for the camera. And again, we got a bunch of personal information. Like, I don't suspect that a 30-year-old credit card number is still gonna be valid if you went and tried to use it, but we're just gonna blur that anyways, because why take the chance? Okay, next document. Again, at Duluth Camera Exchange, we have a name. It's a female name now, possibly his wife, from 1992. I have a customer complaint. What? Oh, it says eats bats, as in eats batteries, but I read it and I thought it said fat butts in about 2 months, and I'm like, oh my god, they bought this camera, they gave the wife a fat butt, now she's complaining? That would be the most Karen thing ever. But I'm guessing it's eat batteries. Makes logical sense. So I'm guessing either it got replaced or fixed or something, because we still got the camera. And now we got some receipts from Texas. Hey, Texas! That's why I went to the Alamo photo thing, probably get their Texas photos processed. It's from 1998. Pi Day, 1998. This person was at the Menger Hotel in San Antonio, Texas. And last but not least, we got one more. It appears to be a receipt, in which it is from 3/13/99. Wait, 99? This one said 98. So either they went back, or one of these point of sales had their date off by a year. Regardless, this is the day before, so at the Oyster Bar 5 in West Laco, Texas. Let's take a look at what this Oyster Bar looks like. Oh no, the Oyster Bar is permanently closed. But let's look at some pictures anyways. This looks like some nice vintage decor. I'm kind of a fan of places that don't really update their decor for like 30, 40 years, so this place would have been killer. Looks like there's even a bunch of old paintings on the wall. Oh, kind of sad that's closed. I would have totally stopped there for the decor if I was ever passing through West Laco, Texas. But regardless, that is the last of the documents that were in the filthy, filthy case. So now our next step, I guess, is to actually get the film processed and see what we have. So, if you're the observant type, you may have noticed it's been a while since the first part of this video was recorded. Probably getting close to a month now, because See, for the last couple of years, I've been doing all my color processing using these C41 Unicolor powder kits. But early in March, I was like, you know, I think it's time to make the upgrade to the big boy adult Kodak Flexicolor chemicals. So I made my chemical order and was planning on processing the film from the point and shoot with it. And then it happened. UPS lost half the delivery. So it took an extra 2 weeks to get that kerfuffle figured out and finally get the missing chemicals in my hands. So now finally I can get around to processing that film in my nice new Kodak Flexicolor chemistry. The other point of interest about this camera is that since the documentation in that bag had names on it, I did some Google searching. And it turns out the owner of the camera passed away a little under a year ago last May. What this does that I've never had happen in one of these videos before is that now, if there are good photos on that camera that the family might be interested in, I can actually find these people and deliver it to them. So that could be the special sauce for this video if all goes as planned. Okay, so I bet this looks really comfortable, but I'm gonna open this up and we're gonna get an idea how much film might be exposed. Where's the... If I can find the latch to unlock this. There it is. Is that it? No, it's not it. Oh, come on, I know it has when I saw it before I put the camera in. Wait, I think I found it. I think I found it. Yes! The back is open. Alright, here we go. We have the film is out, partially taken up. That's a good sign. Okay, so it was barely on there. So if there is indeed photos on this film, I'm expecting 3 or 4 max. It was not taken up very far. All right, the dev cycle is complete, so let's crack our knuckles. Well, and see what we got. Here we go. I can already see that it's very dark, which is expected with old expired film. It doesn't really age well. Oh, we got at least... What did I predict? No more than 4? I see 3 photos with light leaks. And the rest is nothing. Just a bunch of group of people sitting around on what appears to be a bus or a subway. Well, glad we got something. So I'll get to scanning these and then we will maybe get in touch with any of the next of kin and see what happens. Okay, it's now been roughly 38 days since I shot the very first scenes for this video, and as you can tell, I still have not succumbed to the blade. But good news! I was able to get in touch with one of the daughters of the owner of the camera and got her the photos back into the family's hands, and they were thankful for that. And this weekend we had a call where she gave me just a bunch of information about what was actually the photos were about that we're about to see. And they also wish to keep their personal information private, so that said, here are the 2 photos that were recovered from the roll of film. There was a third, but it appears that the autofocus on the camera completely went off whack and it's just completely out of focus. It's just like an abstract, blurry art thing, not really worth sharing. But I'm just gonna bounce back and forth between these 2 as we can tell that they were taken at probably 10 seconds apart, you know, click, turn. So as we have the actual information instead of my wild theories, let's take a look. So what I'm told is that everyone here is related and they would go on vacations together as like a relatives thing where this guy would organize everything, do all the planning, find the deals, he was the planner of the group. He would use his planning skills and then use that to get the rest of the family members who don't really care to plan their own travels to get them out and travel, which is great. If you're the person in your family that does that, people like me like that you do that, because I'm a bad traveler. I don't plan stuff good. I don't know what I'm doing. But my sister is a great traveler, so she would always just get everything organized and grab me by the collar and off we go and see something. So appreciate the people in your family who can organize traveling if you're not a good traveler. So these photos come from a vacation that we figured out probably took place around 2002, 2004, somewhere in that window in London. As we can see behind this woman's head, there's a sign for the London Underground, which was a nice clue to really pin in where this was taken, right? Right. And also this woman, she's not part of the group. Total stranger on the train. But hey, maybe someone in London is watching this video and is like, oh yeah, that's my cousin Cheryl. And no, that's probably not gonna happen. The odds of finding the woman are so slim, I'm not gonna hold my breath over it. So also, like early in this video, I made this assumption that because a lot of the documents had the husband's name on the stuff, that it was his camera, but what I was also told is that it was the wife who took all the photos and basically never appeared in any family photos because she was always the one behind the camera. So well, I guess that's probably about it for this found camera treasure. Not too much more to talk about without giving away information about the family, but this is a fun one, you know, like what I like about doing this series is when I find a camera in a thrift store and grab it and start shooting the video, I have no idea where it's actually gonna end up. I always just assume the worst, there's not gonna be anything on it, and I'll probably have to scrap the video if it's completely boring, or if you remember the beginning of this video, Mr. Square Bag of Found Photos, that was my backup plan. I assumed this camera would be empty, and I was just gonna be like, okay, we'll show you a couple of those before I do an actual main video on it, but instead, the first time I've ever been able to reunite the photos with the owner. So, that was a surprise, and that's how it goes. So until next time, finger guns! Still need to work on how to do an outro. And one last thing I forgot to talk about, since I didn't remember it existed until I was editing the video after shooting everything, is the Texas date discrepancy. And yes, the couple who owned this camera made regular trips to Texas to hang out with friends, so it makes more sense now that there would be 2 different years as they were traveling back and forth instead of the point of sale system screwing up and putting the wrong year on the receipt. And now this video can end.